Hello everybody, welcome to our live studio show here on MXGP-TV.com, Facebook and of course YouTube, all of those MXGP channels of course, where it's round 7 of the FI Motocross Championship. We're at Italy for the MXGP of Italy and the historic circuit of Maggiora. My name is Paul Mayland, Lisa Leyland here, and we are going to be welcoming a little later on our show 3 guests once again, Jago Geerts, Pauls Jonass and Livia Lancelot. But before we meet them, Lisa, here we are, back in Italy. Is it me, or does it feel like the season's been a little bit patchy at the moment? You know, one on, one off, a couple on, one off. It's just...
But I know what you mean. Yeah. But this is, we're used to the past couple of years having like the 10 back-to-backs, aren't we, with the whole COVID. But now this is a normal pre-COVID calendar, and I'm liking it.
I'm loving it.
I like it. I'm not going to complain. This is what I like. One on, couple off, you know, it's nice.
Although when we get to Spain, France, Germany, 3 in a row, then
we'll yeah, exactly.
That's in a couple of weeks' time. But anyway, look, let's get on with the show. And our first guest is already in position from Monster Energy Yamaha Factory MX2. Jago Geerts. He just happens to be the championship leader in MX2 as well. Jago, welcome to Italy. Welcome to Maggiora. We had a weekend off last week. Did you enjoy it? How did you spend your time off?
I went to watch the EMX65 and EMX85 in Lommel, so it was nice to see the youth riding, and yeah, it was in Belgium, so it would be stupid if I don't go there and watch the small riders.
You were a small rider once upon a time, and here you are in MX2, so showing that the progression is possible. Well, look, you arrive here in Italy as the championship leader, the red plate holder. How important was it for you to fight back immediately after what happened in Trentino? Because obviously you led there, you lost the championship lead, but to fight back like you did, how important was that in Latvia?
Yeah, for sure. From myself, it was important because I knew I had good speed also in Italy. But just had a little bit of like bad luck and ended up in some difficult situations. So I felt good on the bike in Latvia. I felt riding was good. So yeah, it was nice to go 1-1 there.
Okay.
Well, like you said, you felt good. You totally dominated the GP in Latvia. You seem perhaps the strongest you've been in 2 years. Is it something that you've been working on, or is it just perhaps something, have you changed in your program, or just you're a bit more mature, or just because you're older and more experienced?
Yeah, I think it's for sure more experience, and also just changed my training program a little bit. I'm working with some different persons than before, so the off-season went really well, and I'm just feeling really good yeah, during the season now, so it's really nice how it's going now.
Yeah. Well, when you got to the front, you actually controlled both races perfectly. You mentioned the off-season. Is that something that you were actually working on, and just to perhaps be, you know, maybe a little bit more calm at the front of the field?
Yeah, for sure. Just don't want to make too many like unnecessary mistakes, and if I can't win the race, then just be happy with like 3rd or 4th place. So I hope we can keep going like this, and then yeah, we will see where we end up at the end of the season.
How was the track actually? Because in Latvia, very dry on Saturday, we had rain in the night, and obviously it was perfect conditions. It looked perfect conditions. How was it to ride over the 2 days?
Yeah, the first heat, the track was a little bit wet and a bit slippery, so it was a bit like sketchy, but the second heat it stopped raining, and yeah, the track was really good, more sandy than on Saturday, so the second heat track was really nice to ride.
Okay, well look, you have had a very consistent start to the championship, 5 podiums from 6 rounds, a couple of wins as well, and your starts seem to be a lot more consistent this year. How much has that helped you, you know, to get you to where you are today in leading the championship?
Yeah, the starts help a lot. Like in Trentino, I didn't have 2 really good starts, and also the race didn't go too well then, so starts are just really important, and we worked a lot on that, and also with the bike, so I'm really happy the starts are more like more consistent now, and I hope we can keep going like that. Yeah.
Okay. Well, Latvia was your 2nd GP win of the season. Your first came in Mantova. How important was that first GP win for you, just to get it so early on in the season?
Yeah, in Mantova, just everything went right. Felt good on the track on Saturday, won the qualifying heat, and then I just felt really good the whole weekend and won the 2 heats. So that was a really nice weekend for me, and it's nice to win the second GP of the year already, and it gives you for sure a confidence boost for the next rounds.
Yeah.
Another area where you seem strong, qualifying. 4 pole positions, so 4 qualifying race wins from the last 5 Grand Prix. I guess in some ways, whilst the races for points on Sunday are important, the qualifying race is probably one of the most important races as well, isn't it? Because you need a good position for gate pick. You know, how have you been able to dominate those qualifying races as well? I guess that's just coming back down to starts.
Yeah, also the time practice is going really well, like every round till now. So that puts me in a good starting position for the qualifying heat. It makes the qualifying heat easier, and the qualifying heat makes the 2 races easier. So yeah, just one thing can change everything.
Yeah.
Well, before we go, we're back in Majora. We were just talking about the track. Is this a track that you like? Do you feel good out there?
Yeah, I really like the track. Last year I got my first podium of the season here, so it's a really old school track with a lot of uphills and downhills, so it suits me well, and I like to ride here.
Obviously, when we go from the hard pack here of Majora, a week's time we go to Riola. Deep sand. What are your thoughts on going there? Are you looking forward to it? Because normally on paper, sand, Belgium, Jago, you know.
Yeah, for sure. I'm excited to race in Riola next weekend. It's like the same as Lommel, actually. It's really deep sand, so I'm looking forward to race there, and hopefully it will be nice with some good weather, and yeah, we will see.
Actually, just for fans listening to this, how much do you change the bike between a race like here on the hard pack with hills and then what is a flat track with no hills but gets very, very bumpy and deep sand? What kind of things you change? Is it gearing? You know, sort of, you know, the CDI settings and things like that? What are you changing most? Or do you just have a bike that is pretty much ready to go? 1 or 2 clicks here, that's it?
Yeah, we don't change anything actually. Just a little bit suspension, but for the rest, the bike is the same here than next weekend.
All right. Well, look, Jago Geerts, thanks for joining us. Jago Geerts, championship leader in MX2. He's going to be competing around this Majora circuit, round 7 this weekend. Jago, we wish you all the best, not just for this weekend, but for the rest of the championship as well.
Thank you.
Right. Hopefully our second guest is getting ready to join us, Pauls Jonass. We'll talk to him in just a few moments. But before we do, here's some highlights from MX2, race 2 from Latvia 2 weeks ago. The Fly Racing 15-second board up for the final time today. MX2 race 2, 30 minutes plus 2 laps. Who will it be that grabs that all-important foxhole shot? Again, Langenfelder just runs in a little bit too hard, and it's Horgmo! Kevin Horgmo for the second time this year with the foxhole shot. Closely followed by Guadagnini. Jago Geerts heading out towards the far end of the circuit, up over the Little Dragon's back. The deep sandy conditions almost catching Horgmo out. He barely has the speed to get over the double. And Guadagnini goes through, takes over the lead on the first lap. But Horgmo challenging Guadagnini for the lead here. Tries to go around the outside, and he does just about. Yes, he does. Makes the move. Can he make it stick? No. He'll go inside. Guadagnini will try to launch it around the outside. But he gets blocked off, and then Horgmo covers the line immediately. Geerts looks to go around the outside. Again, Guadagnini will know that the Belgian is there, but he gets better drive on the exit of the waves. And Geerts does make the pass. He's got to stay over to the left-hand side, but Guadagnini knows that as well. Oh, we might have elbows in the next corner. Belgium, I'll tell you what, Jago Geerts, absolutely committed to the outside, takes away second position. Kevin Horgmo, sector 2 and 3, has set the fastest times of the race so far as De Wolf up the inside of Guadagnini, who tries to get back down the inside. The Dutch rider gives him no way through, though. All of a sudden, De Wolf up to third. Meanwhile, a second now separate the two leaders, the 24 of Kevin Horgmo and the 93 of Jago Geerts. Gets spring-loaded, but then he was doubling in, but he cuts back to the inside, makes the move on lap 12. Geerts goes through. Horgmo's gone down. Horgmo has had a collision with the tough blocks. He's out of second position. Picked locks himself up in fourth. That's a gift of points for Tom Vial and Kai de Wolf. Absolutely locked onto the rear wheel of the factory Husqvarna, the Nissan machine of number 74. And there's an attempt down here. He's hard on the brakes. He tries to get down the inside. Ah, is there a response? No, Vial goes through. And de Wolf tries to return the favour immediately, and he may just come through there as well. Oh, absolutely bar to bar. Vial needs to make this pass. Ah, Kai de Wolf is still there in second position. Jago Geerts, he goes 1-1. He wins the overall Grand Prix. Tom Vial will take to third. Second overall, Kevin Horgmo, his first podium of his MX2 career. Jago Geerts, a perfect day here in Latvia, goes 1-1. And the red plate changes hands. It leaves on the front of the Yamaha of Jago Geerts. But it's all square at the top in MX2. Hello everybody, welcome back to our live studio show here on MXGP-TV.com and of course our MXGP channels on YouTube and Facebook with me, Paul Malin and Lisa. It's round 7. We're in Italy at the circuit of Maggiora and our second guest is joining us now from Standing Construct Husqvarna Factory Racing, Pauls Jonass. Pauls, it's been first of all, great to see you. It's been a couple of weeks since we saw you last. What have you been up to during that time since Latvia and here?
Yeah, after Latvia we went straight back to Belgium and did some training there, you know, the hard pack trainings for this GP. So just put some work in to get better I was before, because, like, you know, everyone knows that I was struggling a bit in off season, so I'm just missing the bike time now, and I try to get it back as soon as possible.
But I spy something on your ring finger that's very shiny and gold. What is that?
Well, first of all, how was the build-up to the Latvian Grand Prix?
Yeah, it was
what did you do?
Yeah, that happened before Latvia GP, so that...
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, it's the first GP as a husband, the first podium, so, you know, the wife said, now it's time to go to work, you know. It's, it's enough messing around, but yeah, it happened Thursday after Arco. But I was also like, it's actually quite a good story, you know, like because I was planning to go to Latvia before the GP to do some training there, but since Arco didn't go so well, and, you know, I was still not so happy with the bike, so we planned to do some testing after Arco. But anyway, we had planned that on Thursday we had appointment in the government, let's say, to sign the papers. And so Thursday morning we flew to Latvia, got married in the afternoon, and then Friday morning I flew back to Belgium and straight to Lommel and
straight to work.
Straight to work. Yeah, and my wife stayed in Latvia with her dad to fix all the papers, because, you know, in Latvia they changed the surname, so we had a quite nice honeymoon. She was in Latvia and I was in Belgium doing the work. So
magic.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Oh, yeah. Well, with it being your home GP, were you nervous or excited about being there? Because obviously you didn't show it if you were nervous. By the way, that was your question, Lisa.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just excited about all the love in the room from there.
For sure, like, home GP is always tough. Like, extra nerves and everything, but somehow, you know, I really enjoyed it. You know, still on Saturday morning I wasn't feeling the best, but then once the time practice and the quality race started, then on Sunday morning straight away I went to the track. I was like, okay, this is my day, you know, I'm feeling good. And yeah, actually I really enjoyed it. You know, like, the home GP is always tough mentally and everything, but I really enjoyed the racing and riding. But, you know, you can say it always when you're on a podium, then you enjoy the riding and enjoy the GP.
Well, it really was your day, Pauls, because you got 2 second-place finishes for second overall, and you actually said to us after the GP it was as good as a win. And it was just such an incredible atmosphere, and it was just fantastic the whole day for you, wasn't it, really?
Yeah, for sure. I think you can see, you know, after the GP, like all the week after, you could see the photos and the videos coming from the podium celebrations and everything. And it's still nice when I watch now back the pictures and the movies. It was so good atmosphere, and, you know, like, I've been on the podium before, but you know, the home GP and MXGP class, that's something different. You know, getting my first hole shot in a long time, and you know, like the first laps, I was like, okay, I can do it, I can win. But
you can hear the crowd here. This was the first lap.
Yeah, it was crazy. Like, you could hear the crowd all the way around. Like, okay, when you see there's not so many people, but you can hear them all the way around. It's something different.
And actually, riding your home Grand Prix, kind of, you know, it's been a bit patchy for you the last couple of years, hasn't it? One, you had to miss, I think, was it 2020 or was it 2021 when you had to miss?
2020.
2020.
Yeah.
So to be there and to just be in such good form.
Yeah.
You know, after what we've had as a difficult couple of years, perfect.
For sure. For sure. I think, you know, nobody expected that. You know, like, after this, you see the podium and the people, it was crazy, you know, and also for me, like, everyone said, like, they haven't seen me so happy in a long time, like, actually never on the podium. You know, some people were comparing it to when I won the title in France, you know, in MX2 class. So, yeah, like you said, in 2020, I had to miss actually 3 GPs, because then we had 3 GPs, and there was, you know, nearly walking around, and now to be in a podium with the fans in front is amazing.
Perfect. I was sat on the plane with somebody who went out to see the GP, and all he was talking about was Pauls Jonass, because I was wearing a Fox t-shirt, and he was literally, oh, you're from Fox, you're from Motocross? I was like, well, you know, I'm kind of involved a little bit. Pauls Jonass. I was like, okay. He's on our show next week, by the way. Well, look, I tell you what, if you're watching us on Facebook or on our YouTube channel or whatever else, and you want to know how to get involved on MXGP-TV.com, of course, go to the website and immerse yourself in the action with MXGP-TV. By now, of course, you get all the action throughout the whole season if you buy the season pass, and that includes the Monster Energy Motocross Nations at the end of the year as well. You can also buy per event as well. All the races live, uninterrupted, and without TV commercials. So absolutely perfect. Well, look, we've just saw the highs of the season. It was a shame that you had some lows at the beginning and part of the season. What was the problem? Tendonitis, and you had some stitching come undone in Mantova?
Yeah, the problem was during training in Spain. Actually, it happened like on, if I'm not wrong, on 12th of January. I started to get like a small tendonitis, so I went to see the doctor, and they said like it's going to be fine in a few weeks, but you know, I tried to ride again, and it came back, and then actually the plan was to do the GP in England and do it after then, because then I had 10 days time to recover, but since the GP got postponed, so I did it before, and yeah, unfortunately in Mantova, you know, I did the first moto, came back, and then I opened the hand, and everything was open.
But as you can see from Patagonia, you clearly had the speed, so, you know, maybe Latvia wasn't such a surprise.
Yeah, but like there, I did, I think on Monday before Argentina, I did in Genk 2 times 15 minutes riding, and that was it, you know. So like till that time I'd done 12 hours on a bike since January, you know. So I went there, and then like especially in the quali race, I passed the guys. I was like, what is going on, you know? But I always been riding good in Patagonia in Argentina. I really like the track, and you know, the team has been always behind me, and they support, and the bike has been really good, you know. Still we have some work to do to improve it, but I think we are on a good way also with my fitness and everything, because I've been feeling strong already, like I said, in January, but then, yeah, when you're missing the bike time, nothing can replace that.
Okay. How is it being back on Husqvarna? Because from an outside perspective, it looks like both you and your teammate, Brian Bogus, have a good setup this year that seems to be working for the both of you.
Yeah, and we have to be quick with this because we're almost out of time.
No, it's really good, you know, like for me, like the Standing Construct team, the group is so amazing, you know, they know what they do. It's not so big, not so many people, but everyone is doing their job awesome, you know, they work really hard, and that's most important for me. I work hard, they work hard, and I think that shows also in the results, so that's most important thing.
Cool. Well, look, Pauls Jonass, thanks a lot for joining us here. Congratulations on getting married. Say hi to Mrs. Jonass for us.
Thank you.
Is she still in Belgium, or is she here?
No, she's here. She's
not
here,
on honeymoon anymore in Belgium.
Yeah.
All right. Well, look, thanks for joining us. All the best for the rest of the season. Right, our final guest is getting ready to join us, Livia Lancelot. But before we meet her, let's take a quick look back at what this guy did a couple of weeks ago. Here's some highlights from MXGP Race 2 in Latvia. The Fly Racing 15-second board up for the final time today. MXGP Race 2. Pauls Jonass squeezes him to the inside, and then he runs wide, but he manages just to hold on to grab the foxhole shot. Pauls Jonass for the first time this year. As Tim Geiser moves into second with that pass on Fernandez at the end of the back straight. riders already pretty spread out, and we've lost Monticelli. So Monticelli has gone missing in sector 3 in that left-hander. So the JM Honda, a good start, comes to nothing. Prowess of Brian Bogers behind you, charging after you on that standing construct. Husqvarna, who doubles his way in and does find his way past the Spaniard, who chooses not to yield and almost goes down. Van Hoornbeek, number 89. So that looks like he's had a moment with the tough blocks on the start straight. Yes, it is. So Van Hoornbeek then sinking down the order. Not the first rider to do that this weekend. Good drive, just letting the back end dance around, but it's cost him some time. And all of a sudden, Jonass is in the trouble. He's on the ropes. Goes too high, goes too long. Geiser alongside him. He's going to have to work hard to defend. He knows that there's going to be a cutback here. Can't do anything about it. Geiser slides through, takes over the lead on lap 7. Jeremy Van Hoornbeek, the Beta SDM Course MX team, with a track load of tough block wrapped around that rear wheel. So can Ruben Fernandez get his first GP podium in MXGP class with 2 third-place finishes? He'll do it with a 3rd and a 4th as well, if that's what it takes. Oh, gets a little bit out of shape there, though. And obviously, if you remember, he was named the Terminator here through this part of the racetrack when the track ran slightly differently. Koldenoff has bridged the gap. Oh, Jacoby and Prado. Geiser keeps it up on 2 wheels. Heads towards the checkered flag. He takes his 8th race win of the season. Race win number 75 as well for the Slovenian. Pauls Jonass, 2nd in the race and 2nd overall. Ruben Fernandez, Honda 114. A bit too much hang time. It's going to be a drag race to the finish. Oh, was it him or was it? It was Koldenoff. Koldenoff gets 3rd. Hello everybody, welcome back to our final part of our live studio show here on MXGP-TV.com with me, Paul Malin, and Lisa Leyland. Our 3rd and final guest is live with us now, Livia Lancelot, team manager, of course, for Honda 114 Motorsports. And Livy, fantastic to see you. It's round 7. But it was 2 weeks since we've seen everybody. How were you able to enjoy your time off since Latvia, or didn't you? Is it still work, work, work?
No, I could enjoy a day off, a weekend off. Was good to be home, spend time with the family, enjoy a little bit the time at home, the good weather. You know, like it starts to be a little bit summer at home, so it was definitely good to be home for a weekend. Cool.
Well, here we are back at Majora. Now, looking back, WMX only ever came here on one occasion, 2013. You didn't ride that season. Is this a place that you would have liked to have ridden and raced at? Is this got Livia Lancelot written all over it?
Yes, definitely. It's the kind of track that I would like. I think I never raced here, never even practiced here. But when I walked the track the first time last year, because I never came before, I honestly really liked it. And yeah, I wish I could ride once here.
Yeah.
Well, this year your team has a slightly different look to it, doesn't it? You have a rider in both MX2 and MXGP. How did that come about to have both classes?
It all came with Ruben, actually, Fernandez, because we are supposed to be MX2 team, bringing young riders to the HRC team. So this is the goal of the team since the beginning. But we had Ruben last year doing great in MX2, and he was supposed to do one more season maybe in MX2, and he started to be riding really good, and he made this last GPs on the 450, and he was definitely great on the 450. So this is where all the discussion started to let Ruben ride the 450, and it was also his choice. So I tried to keep him on the 450.
Yeah.
You know, it was not my first goal to have 450 riders, but at the end, you know, I really like Ruben. I like working with him. I definitely like his race spirit, you know.
Yeah.
So it was good to have him. but it's definitely, it came from Ruben. It was not a goal for the team to go 450.
Well, good choice, because in Latvia 2 weeks ago, we saw Ruben make the podium in MXGP. What impressed you most about his weekend there?
Ruben impressed me every weekend. You know, he's the kind of person that is always really calm and smiling. You know, he's definitely not under the stress, or he's always easy working, easy going. You know, like. But we knew it could happen already before. You know, it was so close from the podium, few GPs already. So it was just a matter of keeping him calm for 2 races, keep it on 2 wheels, like we say all the time, and this is what he did. So first year in 450, already on the podium. This is really great for him.
Well, it was a solid performance, a 3rd and a 4th. He also got a 3rd in the 2nd race in Argentina. He's also made some mistakes, and obviously Latvia, he rode with his head, and I think that was more the question. You know, did that impress you more than anything? Because Argentina, you had that crash in race 1, and then he's had a couple since then. It's almost as if somebody, I don't know who, Livy, had a word with him and said, just go slower to go faster, calm it down a little bit, and you will, you know, it will pay off. And I think we saw that performance.
Yeah, okay, honestly, it's not from me, because I'm trying to tell him this since 2 years, and it's not working every time.
Okay.
It's, you know, already in Portugal, and the GP before, it was like, before the quali race, please, Ruben, it's just a quali race. Keep it calm, it's okay, we just need a gate pick for tomorrow. So you keep it calm. And when I'm telling you this, it's after the sighting lap already. Yeah. So it's like 2 minutes before the gate drop. Yeah. And he's looking at me eyes to eyes, and he really believes it. And he's like, yes, Livy, I know. I know. And you're right. And I will do this. Yeah. 3 corners later, he's on the ground. I'm like, no, come on.
Meanwhile, the goldfish goes and does another lap of the bowl.
Yeah.
No,
what a memory.
No, because he's not like this. He's really smart, and he really listens what you say. You know, he's not the kind of rider that just say, he's like, yeah, and he doesn't believe you or listen to you. Yeah. He does. But the gate drop and something.
Well, the helmet's on, the goggles are on, and that's it. The arm falls back. So
definitely for Latvia, it's him. Yeah. It's definitely him, because I told him the same that I'm telling him since last year. Okay. So it's him that realized, I think, that, I mean, I think like he grew up, you know, also, and he realized that 450, you also need to be a little bit more calm on this big bike, you know. So, but it's all on him. Yeah, he did great.
Well, Ruben is 6th in points. Is that more than you had hoped for at this stage of the game?
Yes, sure. Because at the end, last year we had big expectation in 250. And this year we had nothing. It was his first year, so we expected him to fight for podiums, because last year he did great at the end of the season, but we didn't really wish for overall. And at the end he's 6th today, so it's definitely great. It shows that he worked hard this winter, and he's ready for this class. And I'm sure that without all these small mistakes that he did since the beginning of the year, because he has 2 DNF in quali race, which makes his life harder on the weekend to start from, you know, like completely on the side of the gate. So I'm sure that he will keep doing well, and maybe we can hope for better overall.
All right, well, let's shift our attention to MX2. Håkan Fredriksson, new to the team this year. He's 12th in the standings. He's finished inside the top 10 on a number of occasions. He got a 6th in race 2 in Mantova, Lombardia. How's he settling into the team, and how is he finding his first year in MX2?
Good. We really like working with Håkan. It's his first year in MX2, and he has really, really big expectation for himself. He really wants to do well, and he really wants to prove that he can do something good. And sometimes it's maybe, you know, a little bit too early to want all this, because he puts a lot of pressure on himself. We definitely need to keep working on the bike to help him more to start up front. And Håkan is a really big guy, you know, he will be good for the 450. So we need to keep working on the bike to help him for the starts, because we know that in MX2 it's the key of results. So, but definitely he wants it bad. So if we can take this pressure a little bit off, I'm sure that he will do even better. He's a great rider. He worked hard this winter with Ruben all together, you know. So definitely, I'm sure that he can do a top 5 before the end of the season for sure.
Well, he had 9 podiums in the MX250, including 2 wins. I mean, he wants it now, but in the future, Does he really have that potential to be a contender in MX2?
Yes, yes, I'm pretty sure because honestly, he's young, he's working hard, so definitely, yeah, we have to remember that it's only his first year in MX2. So like he says, I did it in EMX in front of guys that are on the podium today sometimes, but like I tell him, in EMX 250 there are maybe 5 really, really good riders, and then there is, let's say, a gap. In MX2 there are 20.
Yeah.
It's not the same, you know. So I said it's easier in EMX. If you have a bad start, you can come back easier to the front. MX2, if you have a bad start, it takes you forever to go to the top 10. So he has to learn all the things. Like I said, we have to help him keep working hard, and I'm sure he can be a good contender. All
right, well, look, Livy, we are out of time, but I agree with you. I think he's going to be a better 450 rider in the future, and we'll look forward to that when it happens. Well, look, we are out of time. Join us for all the live action later on today. We are back at, 2:40 with EMX Open Race 1, and then we have the MX 250 races on again today. We finish the day with MX2 and MXGP qualifying races, and all the action live tomorrow. So that's it. Hope you've enjoyed the show. It's been quite a fun one today, actually. We'll be back with all the racing later on, as I said, and we'll see you in Sardinia when we do this show again in a week's time. See you then. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.